Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where we're going to be looking back at our track day at Bedford and kind of talking about things that we found, and also looking forward to other track days basically and talking about what we want to get done for that.
Because it's 2022, want to get a few in here, even though we've got to find a car for
so far we've averaged one a year so far.
So at least two this year, fingers crossed, we'll double it.
Yeah, so we'll start off obviously the video with some of the very beginning laps and us building confidence, and obviously we'll start here with Matt because this is obviously your first time at Bedford, so
first time driving at Bedford,
first time pushing the
MX-5. Yeah, not a bad. I think the day overall was a really good day. A lot of learning experience.
Oh yeah, a lot of learning, a lot of confidence building, like especially as we'll see throughout, like especially this first lap here, because
I think confidence was a big thing for me.
Yeah. I could tell that's, like I said, I think I could tell before the day that you were struggling with confidence in the car because you very much didn't have the confidence that the MX-5 was as fast as it can obviously go, which we could see more of throughout the day. It was very much keeping off a lot of newer, faster cars, what you would think would be faster cars.
Yeah, definitely.
So very much show that you could go a lot faster, and basically the best way I think I put it was between both cars, the slowest thing about each car was the driver.
The thing between the seat and the steering wheel was the issue in both cars, definitely.
Like both of our cars could have gone a lot faster than we were driving them.
Definitely. I think, each corner and stuff, you kind of work out what you prefer. But this is the first proper sort of lap.
Like even through that last one, you could just see through the chicane how much later on you'll see you take it a lot straighter. Yeah,
and a lot more just foot to the floor, pushing it right through. But the car itself performed really well. I think the big thing, like I mentioned on the day, was the brakes that sort of let me down. I was just running old MX-2s, which, really decent pads, especially considering they put up with the abuse. But I could feel after pushing them, they didn't really cycle heat very well. So the issue that I sort of noticed was sort of the brake pedal just basically disintegrated. Yeah,
you could very much see as well, looking back through the footage, as it is that your videos, your clips were very much one or two hot laps.
Yeah.
And then you're basically going straight back in, which...
One or two hot laps, and then a cool down, and then that was pretty much all I could do. Like here now, I'm just trying to make the car go faster, because everyone knows MX-5's not fantastic in a straight, and
it was the biggest bit letting this car down on track.
Yeah.
But...
Well, the biggest bit was
because in all honesty, the main thing for this is just because Bedford has this long straight, which is what makes it a good track, because it has fast corners, slow corners, as well as a long straight. And
then you look at that chicane, like that was just so poorly taken. I don't think I ever got that chicane right. Through the footage, I don't think I've done a good corner through that.
No, but I don't think it was very much helped at all going through into that one, because very much a lot of that chicane was slowed down mainly because of you not having the confidence, and then
in those brakes.
The brakes, but then also it didn't help that by the time you were building up confidence, it started raining, and then your confidence started getting knocked again
because it was spinning.
Yeah, someone had a few spins, but
I think we got 3 spins throughout the whole day. No one got hurt in them.
No, they were all very fine ones. For it was one slightly faster one throughout that first corner, but
the last corner,
the last corner. I mean, sorry.
But like the other drivers on the track were flying. As you can see, that Lotus just disappeared.
There was quite a few mad cars out there as well.
There was also a McLaren on track, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a McLaren,
which if I'm going to have an ridiculous. Issue, definitely not that car.
Also, there was the Noble M600 that was out there, which apparently had mechanical issues because that wasn't out for very long.
I think it had mechanical issues just after lunch, wasn't it?
I think it was before lunch. Yeah, I think it was quite early in the day. Yeah. So it was quite a sad one for that to not be out, but...
And thankfully, talking about mechanical problems, none of our cars had any.
The cars were fine. The only issue we ever had on the day is, obviously, you might have seen throughout the video if you watched the original one, was my GoPro mounts very much were not... unfortunately, there was nothing... I think the problem with the newer car is everything's very skinny and thin, and nothing could get tight enough on either I had one obviously on the headrest, which... That one very much, that one failed before it even got to a fast lap. Unfortunately, that fell away. And then obviously after that, I used just the forwards mount that I had for on the rear view mirror,
which also,
but unfortunately goes on a very. Unfortunately, the rear view mirror is mounted on the very small pole, which just couldn't get tight enough for it to stay still. So it meant I got the video, but it meant that it came very much swinging across, which was unfortunately a letdown that I didn't get any great footage, but there was still some bits, as you saw throughout the video and you'll see now.
So how did you find this chicane here?
But this chicane, I think...
halfway down the mile straight.
One, I had a bit more confidence because I'd done this before this track, so... And like I said, going into it, I had the advantage of one brakes, mine...
Yeah.
Because I was upgraded to EBC yellow stuffs. It definitely helped me have more confidence to go in. And like I said, the biggest difference between our cars was the computers and tech that mine had going into it.
What a difference. ABS.
Yeah. The ABS, I think...
Control.
The ABS... combined with the yellow stuffs is half the reason I think I could go out for a lot longer than you and have a lot more confidence to push on the straights, like going into a corner. Whereas you were I think that was the thing I noticed in yours, you were always braking very early for a lot of corners.
Yeah, way too early. But at the time I'm kind of like, okay, let's make it nice and smooth, but I know I can push a bit harder now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things to get done before we get back out, but it was definitely a good one for it. But I think the biggest issue was obviously I have all the traction control things, which are good and helpful when you have them, but obviously the problem is that they can cut in and slow you down a bit when you don't want them to sometimes, which the issue of the 86, which the problem is you can obviously turn it off, but the issue I have with the 86 is it's such a nice valuable car, there's too much value in it. It's part of the reason why I ended up selling it in the end, because I couldn't enjoy it as much, because you can't ever not think about whether it's going to be like everything that could happen to the car is a worry.
It's a 20 grand car.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you know, people who take like the McLaren and stuff out, and all on you for properly pushing it, but we're just not at that point in life.
The problem is I feel like the people who can afford a McLaren to take on track have enough money that they're less worried about if something goes wrong with the McLaren on track.
And obviously you have insurance and stuff, but it's more of the hassle, and when things go wrong, and claiming on insurance is never fun anyway. Like, you have it there as a last resort, but you don't want to purposely go out to have to be claiming on it.
No, you never want to, but like I said, that's part of the thing that comes with confidence. Yours was more confidence in pushing your car, mine was more confidence in
getting the car.
It was less the confidence in pushing the car, which I had confidence to do. It's more my worry of looking after the car, was instead the other way around. But as I said, the car performed brilliantly. Like, we had no mechanical issues between either of them. They both held up really, really well. So
it's just rethinking GoPro mounts, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
although depending on what you get next.
Yeah, as I say, depending on what car I'm in next, I might not have that issue for the stuff. So
in theory, if you've got a bar or anything going through it, we'll have the GoPro mount bar.
Hopefully that'd be a nice thing to worry about. So
yeah.
But again, that's the situation where we get to it. So you never know. Even by the time this video goes up, I might even have a car set. So
exactly, that'd be really good.
Hopefully, we're not going to be taking too long on that. But obviously, we're filming this before that's happened. So, but yeah, it was just such a good day, especially with the way weather went for us. Because
it was nice to get that dry. I thought it was going to be raining.
Yeah, very much the weather looked like the whole build up to it. It looked like we were going to have a whole day of rain. So the fact that we got an entire morning of dry, as you can see, nice. The sun was out for a hell of a lot of it.
I'll tell you what, driving with the roof down, it was a bit chilly, but actually quite enjoyable. You know, I think it was not just unpleasant at all.
Gave you the good chance of the fact that you got to do it was always good. But it's, like I said, they just performed so well. It's like we saw bits for it, like the cars we were getting past. Like last time we went in the window, we had that one little Peugeot we overtook. But between this one, the amount of cars we were getting by, like I think it was you comparing to that
the Abarth 124. I was really
which was
surprised.
Brilliant to see how well it did against that. And then like you just get surprised by how some cars are. Like I think I was behind a was it Mark III MX-5 at one point, which I don't think I could get any good footage for, because I think this is the point when the GoPro decided it wanted to go to sleep somewhere else. But that car looks so rolly through the corners. It's like I was surprised that I know it's a Mark III, but even then I thought the suspension would be better than they were, because it was so rolly.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a Mark III. I know your mum used to have a Mark III, but
but then obviously that was never pushed hard.
Never driven to the same sort of limit, was it?
But yeah, it was just such a good one to push the cars through, and the fact that we got to actually have some good weather to push it through.
Yeah, it was nice, really, really nice.
Yeah, so one of the best things to compare both of the cars was a good clip I actually got that was in the video. Basically, we got this nice side by side here that you can see, which I basically starting from the last corner going into the main straight, and you can see just how close these two cars were, like when we were actually going at it, because throughout almost all these corners we are very much, as you'll see, neck and neck. Like you can see where some of the differences are. Like very much, I think you were getting more speed through that one, because I was getting more speed coming out down the straight because I think I had slightly more confidence in that last corner, but then I think you were getting slightly better through the first corner.
Yeah, I think I did really well through the first couple corners. I think I got quite comfortable pushing.
I think I was quite good through the chicane, but it's very much that first hairpin. I was always struggling with the hairpins throughout the corners. But as you can see, we're very much... I think we take that ever so slightly different. You very much cut across a lot earlier than I do for there. But then again, it all comes out very even, so...
And that was the interesting bit when you compare the cars. Like, if you think, there's 20 years in it.
Oh, yeah. It's about
100 brake horsepower. And
near
about
enough,
200 kilograms? 300 kilograms? Was it 1.5 for the...
Yeah, it was
maybe
it's
about
not
500
far,
kilos then. And that, I think that was the big difference. Like, obviously more power, but MX-5 is lighter, but also has less computers, which is an advantage and a disadvantage, depending on,
as we've gone through with a lot of things, it very much changes what it helps out with and what it can hamper. But it very much was a case of, throughout like 2/3 of the track, it was mainly just that straight, which was just the big difference.
If you just didn't have that straight, or if we just said... I think we should. I suppose we're not going to have that again, are we?
No, we're not going to have this comparison because not have the 86. But
like, if we ever do, we should be like, okay, we'll stick to 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour on the straight, so we can actually compare. The lap times.
Well, hopefully, for a lot of the cars I've been looking at, they are going to be much similar anyway. But
similar power and stuff. I think that would be really interesting.
Like I said, I think we need to also sort out a good way for future track days to communicate with each other. Because I think that was the other thing that doesn't really help. Is like obviously...
What, you cut by me literally on the corner.
The good clip is I put in here for the where I overtook Matt at the end of the straight, because I was very much getting to the point where I wanted to push it.
And I was trying to make a bit more space so we could push it. And then George pushed it, so I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and instantly afterwards Matt span it through a bit too much power. But
I was like, if he wants to play, let's play.
I think that was what would be helpful, because I was like, throughout a lot of that, I was like, come on Matt, let's go. And you were very much trying to hold up and let everyone by.
I'm trying to get as much space through so we can actually properly...
But then that's the
race,
thing. But then that's the thing I was saying was your biggest confidence. Like a lot of laps we had, like especially like towards the end of the day, there was a lot of points where you were slowing up, letting everyone by, and then you'll start to push and you're catching them instantly because you just didn't have the confidence that your car was as quick as it is.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the thing I'll take away massively is the big difference that the car actually can do some stuff if you push it.
Yeah, that's like I said, that was the biggest thing I think for yours. It's just the confidence that your car is faster than you think it is.
Yeah, definitely.
But we get there with that because there's so much to do, so hopefully we get a lot more track time in.
Exactly, and I think the upgrades that are coming for the MX-5, it's going to, I think, especially for the next video, for the next track day, new radiator. I need a Mishimoto radio, so I'll contact the guys at Form 7 and get that sorted out. And then some yellow stuff pads specifically in the front. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on the front and the rear.
I don't know if it needs as much.
Extra 60 odd quid.
Yeah.
I think I'll just replace the rear ones with the standard ones. I was tempted while I'm down there to do some braided brake lines, but I don't know if that'll be the next step.
It's not like an urgent thing that you need, really, is it? That's the thing.
No, but yeah, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we never know. Obviously,
might get out and be like blow a brake line up. Hopefully not. Though. Let's touch wood.
Yeah,
that does not happen.
Yeah, hopefully that isn't going to be an issue. But like I said, there's so much to think about. This the other thing we get on track is when you can properly learn what you want to upgrade next. Like I said, you went out and you knew that the next thing you needed was brakes. It was very much the thing needed. I think my issue was very much the tyres on the 86 were older ones, so you could tell that they were getting to the end of their life.
Some quite old PS3s, isn't it? Yeah,
they were very much towards the end of their life. Yeah, and they were very stretched. They didn't help at all.
Of the tyre itself, I think it was the fact that the application it was used on.
Yeah, it was very stretched, but like I said, I think it was also very much towards the end of it. It's like there wasn't a lot of tread left for it, which definitely didn't help when the rain came out. So, because I've had a lot of times, like obviously, my main issue wasn't that I span like you. Mine was just the car was like you can't put power down here because there's no grip, there's no grip.
Mine's like, go give it a go, see what happens.
Your car basically,
the slide shows,
as the many slides show, your car was like, go on then, so show us how you can do it.
So, do you think you're Ken Block? No.
Yeah, so obviously the one problem we had was I didn't get too many great video clips because my GoPro's died, but obviously it was a lot of good fun stuff for you, battling around on track.
I think that was the really cool bit with this, is like, especially when you go on a proper open track, is you get to see a lot of other people in what they would class as their little sort of track toys. It's like the Fiestas and the Clio 182s or 162s.
Yeah, but not even just those. It's more so the fact that because you can get behind a lot of people and get out there, you can see a lot of other driving lines.
Yeah.
And how other people are taking it, which gives you a chance to learn from other people just by being on track with them.
Yeah, and
like people with more experience, what they're doing and how they take it, and also just helps you find the limits of like whether your car can push further than theirs, or it just gives you a good idea to push things basically.
Yeah, exactly. Or where you're like, I think like battling this little Fiesta, I was like, there's a few times. Is it the Fiesta? Or is that
yes, Fiesta.
Battling this little Fiesta where you're kind of like, can I push it a bit harder? Can I not? Is he going to let me pass? And that was kind of the fun part. Is a lot of times I'll slow right the way down because actually I'm just enjoying the battle. I don't actually want to push past it because it's quite nice, like pulling back and then putting your foot down.
But then it's like I say, it's that thing like you've had that whole time catching them on the things, but then you come to a straight and it's changes again. It's very, but then you can immediately catch back up with them again. But like I said, I think it goes back to the one I said earlier, for you building your confidence up in the car to be faster than a lot of other things are.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can very much tell you held back a lot against a lot of cars thinking, I don't want to disrupt this person, I don't want to slow them down.
I think that was a bit for me. I didn't want to upset other people's laps. Whereas if I was a bit more selfish, I probably would have got a lot more out of the car.
Well, I don't think it's even that. It's just more so the fact that you could have very much gone past people and taken off, but you just didn't have that confidence that you knew you could do that yet.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Which hopefully going forwards helps build up. So, but hopefully as well, the other things we want to do is get just more of us out, more of our group out on track. So
more cameras on as well. It's so good.
I think that was the other thing I always felt bad for, is that your favourite thing, especially when we can get all the cameras out of this, is being able to like see your car from the outside point of view.
Yeah. And
it always made me feel bad that my GoPros didn't work as well, because I'd love obviously getting to see.
You got one really good clip of me sliding the MX-5.
That was always a good one. But it always made me feel like, because obviously my favourite thing was seeing them out clips. So it was for me from Matt's point of view, and it's just a shame that I didn't get as many the other way around. But in future, hopefully that isn't going to be an issue anymore.
Lock the GoPros down with 10,000 zips.
I'll just super glue GoPros onto the car at some point and just weld them on.
That'll do. I will. Sure.
We'll find out when we get through it. But yeah, just the variety of stuff we go on track. Like even like seeing just here, you got a Fiesta, Clio, and then you and the MX-5, having had like a brand new Golf flyby earlier, and it's just the variety is brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone's there having a bit of fun, especially on this track day. Like I think Bedford's quite nice. You do normally get quite a few novices at Bedford because it is a very novice-friendly track.
But then that's the reason we've been going to it. It's very much a good way to build confidence because, as you've seen, there's so much runoff area that if you do spin off 2, 3, 4 times,
you're more likely to hit like
probably more likely to hit a rabbit than you are a tyre wall.
Yeah, exactly. If you hit a tyre wall, then it's literally this corner. I think there's only a couple corners where they are guarded by tyre.
And realistically, they're not ones where you should be having many issues.
No.
As opposed to something where you can go through a track like Brands Hatch, where you go off in the corner and you've got a tyre wall or a gravel track that you can roll your car. It very much gives you a lot more confidence to push yourself far more. But
and you learn about the car more. So it's quite cool because you come out to like bits like this and you've got 3 MX-5s together. Obviously, you got a few caterings. You had the properly spec'd race spec Mark 1 MX-5.
Which you've seen is just pulled away mostly from the U2 already.
And to be fair, that driver there was really nice. I spoke to him on the day.
Everyone always
is.
That's the best thing about it. It's like everyone I think we were speaking to, everyone's
down to earth.
Yeah, and everyone's got the same interest because you're all there we all love cars. So
then you've got the UK spec MX-5, which I'm like, I could probably push past there, but I didn't. So I came off the throttle a bit and sort of pulled off and just followed them through. And you can see the difference in the way we're taking the corners. And again, there, like you're hearing the throttle that I'm just not pushing it.
But you can also see that you definitely look like you were carrying a lot more speed for each corner because you're catching them with basically the same car.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the interesting bit because I was kind of like, actually, how am I doing? Because that's the bit you can't really compare. Obviously, not lap timing and bits like that. You're not really 100% sure what's the best way of doing it.
Yeah. But I think that's also the helpful thing is it means you don't end up pushing yourself too hard. You can just you can just learn your limit and drive at that. You're not constantly pushing for a time. It's always a lot easier just to look back. Hence the fact is why the cameras are so good. It's just, you can look back at stuff afterwards and think, oh, this is where I was faster, this is where I was slower, but at the same time, it isn't quite the same as being out there, because it always looks slower in video.
It does, yeah.
And it ever feels when you're
swinging it. I could have done this, or I could have done that.
Like even just looking here, like how it seems very mundane speed going through, and you're doing 100 miles an hour towards a hairpin, but it doesn't look anywhere near that fast as it feels when you're doing it. It's a bit different doing 100 miles an hour with the roof down. In real life, as opposed to just a video.
Yeah, and I think that's the cool bit is, you know, you can actually push the cars when you're out on track. Like here I'm pushing, I think this might be coming up to where I have a spin, if I remember rightly.
Then the point is that you don't need something with 1,000 brake horsepower race car. You can have fun at any other cars. Basically the more fun cars are the ones you can be pushing to the limit. Yeah,
it's I think someone said it, but it's better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Don't know who said it, but yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah, so obviously the biggest thing that changed everything though for us today was the rain.
Definitely.
Because very much, I think it was one, obviously slowed me down because I had traction control really struggling and cutting in for me, and two, slows you down. One, because you couldn't push the car off the grip in the first place, and I think this is where you had a few confidence moments.
Yes, yeah, most definitely.
Thanks to a few little spins, but...
Yeah, and I think that was the interesting bit of it is, again, you can kind of learn. I did have a couple, I think I had one or two nice laps in the wet.
Well, like I said, when you had the confidence and you were going, that's when it was good, but the moment you had any issue,
it froze you.
It takes a little while to get it back, but
definitely.
I think the good thing was that you were very happy to go straight back out after you took a minute.
Yeah, I think we're literally coming up to...
Yeah, we're going to probably your fastest spin, I think you took. It was the last corner.
The hard bit I sort of found with it is I don't know where I went wrong. Like pushing into it, I think if I turned left harder, but that's it just goes. If I turned left a bit harder, I probably would have caught it.
But then that's always the biggest thing, is the fact that you can look back on it, but in the moment when you're going sideways at, 50 miles an hour probably.
Yeah, but 50, 60 miles an hour.
It's very different to try and think about it in that situation. You can only just by instinct, which for me, again is just learning.
Exactly, you'll get the confidence to know to 100% turn straight into it.
But I remember it always being quite fun. This is always one of my funniest ones, because obviously I never saw this spin in the mirror, as opposed to your other in the rain spin, where I was right by it and saw it happen. This one I was very much driving. I was very much driving along with Matt right behind me, and then I came around the hairpin in the first corner, looked around, I was like, "Where's it gone?"
Yeah, I was gone. And there's me like talking to himself, like I proper pushed myself down with it. I think that was the interesting bit. Is after you have a spin, you're kind of like, "This is annoying," but you pick yourself back up.
It's all you can do. You just got to hype yourself back in.
And I think one of the, like you said earlier, like seeing yourself drive from another perspective, not just from in the car, but someone like recording your car, you could see it, especially if coming through this corner, I'm pushing it a little bit harder. And we get a bit of a fun, cool, skiddy moment. But you're 100% right, I don't like that corner at all.
Yeah.
Like you could see,
you can tell
the apex.
You very much turn in very late to avoid. It's almost like you felt scared of those apexes going through it.
Definitely. This was before the spin though, wasn't it?
Yeah, like even on the dry, it felt very much like you just didn't have the confidence to cut. Like you very much
as much as you can.
The best way to do it is to cut those ones, but
and then you catch it. If someone catches you doing a little skid, it's quite cool.
It's always the fun stuff you want to see. So. Hopefully we get plenty more of that in future track days.
Yeah, exactly. And not purposely throwing it either.
No, it's just very much, like I said, it's finding your limit and then controlling it, basically.
No, exactly.
And not losing it too badly.
Is that you getting a blue light?
I think that might have been. But then obviously that's the blue lights because we had this RX-8 and Clio flying by.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and then I think we had something go off just beforehand as well, one of the other ones.
Yeah, I remember that. And then I'm kind of like, I don't want to crash into any of that.
But then, like I said, this is just... Everyone's very good with the ethical on track. Everyone's happy to slow down and let stuff by it because at the end of the day, it's not a race. That's not the point.
Javelin managed that track day brilliantly.
Oh, they do. They are very good for it.
Really, really good.
As I said, it's the same people we went to for the Hyundai Coupe one where we did that, and again, it just makes some great comparisons. So,
I'm slowing right the way down to try and let you catch up.
Yeah.
And then that's why shoot past me on the last lap, like, I'll just come flying past. I'm like, fine.
But then again, like I said, this is why it'd just be fun to have some more times where we can communicate with each other, because it makes it a lot easier to talk about what you want to do, when you want to push, when you want to need time.
Yeah, when you like cars failing.
Yeah.
Like, brakes.
Exactly, because that's the point, is I can't tell exactly that Matt's having the huge, like his brakes have gone, he can't brake suddenly. Like, I just think Matt's just being too easy on everything, because slowing up, and I'm like, no, come on, I want to go. Which I can't tell him, because you just got to go for it.
We'll work that out next time.
Again, it's more stuff to plan, but like I said, we've got one, we're now looking at getting booked up again with Javelin, so hopefully we should be out again very soon. So
and that'll be really interesting. If there's any ideas or things that you have that would be good to see, then let us know. So I think that will massively.
And if there's anyone who watches as well who goes to Javelin and that gets to common ones, obviously comment, let us know so we can get chatting to you, because it'd be good to find some more people we know out there. So
exactly. Hopefully we're going to have a few cars on this next track day. We're trying to get it arranged.
Yeah, we're trying to get as many of our group to basically get there, so we can basically have as many cameras out on the road.
Pretty much the only reason.
It's just the best way to do it. Get as many really angles of Matt spinning as possible.
Exactly. Yeah, look, coming in last second. Naughty.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd be just good ones to do. But yeah, it's pretty much a lot of us talking about stuff for how we found the track day. Again, as I said, it's great fun. If you want to do it, go and do it. But
definitely recommend getting out on track, 100%.
Yeah, like I said, the best way to improve yourself is track time and just your own ability.
And then you can work out what you need to do to your car. Definitely.
But like, again, for comparison bits, obviously I'm going to go through in a minute, and we'll have at the end of this video a nice comparison lap, I think, between the best one we can find for Matt's MX-5 against my best one from my Honda Coupe. So it's essentially the best laps we got out of our first track days, because I think that'd be a very close one to see how those two did, because that's very interesting for me, because obviously we know overall the Gt86 was fast on the basis of it very much had the straight line advantage by matching it on the corners. Whereas the Hyundai was a very different beast altogether. It had a lot of power for the straight, but it was very different in the corners.
Definitely.
And then very much, again, it evens out the fact that I didn't know the track as well then. Like, I knew the track a lot better here.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be a really interesting video to see.
Yeah, it'd definitely be. We'll get that up in a minute. And then obviously if anyone's interested, might do an unlisted video that'll be linked at the end of this one or in the description or something, just for all of our track footage if anyone wants to
sit through critique us.
It'd probably just be for ourselves mainly, but
if you did, and you know a lot about track driving and stuff, and you did have a look through, and any quick wins you could tell us, that'd be really interesting. Yeah,
like I said, the whole point is it's a learning process, so that's what we're here for. But hopefully we can get out on track more times to learn. So
exactly. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
And
if you like, obviously subscribe to the channel for more, give the video a like, and we'll see you in some more.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Bye.